When we talk about heightened characters, what does that mean to you?
Like extreme, basically.
So what does extreme mean?
Just taking like my emotion objective to a whole nother level.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
And also they're not like an average person. They wouldn't react like an average person, wouldn't speak like an average person.
Yeah.
Like there's very few of them in the world.
Yeah.
But they could exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What about their personalities? Like aside from emotion and objective and the other things that you said, how would their personalities differ a little bit, and maybe how they carry themselves and how they talk?
Very like unpredictable and like you've never seen it before, I feel.
Mm-hmm. You know, a good way to think about it also is, I think Don even talks about this, like he says like heightened characters would be like standing in front of those sort of funny mirrors at a circus, you know, those funny mirrors that like make you really tall or really short or really fat, you know, those ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Because like, sometimes Don talks about things in the book and you're like, I don't quite follow what he means by that. But I see it almost like if you stood in front of one of those mirrors and we took that image on that mirror and popped it out of the mirror and put it on our planet, and that person was walking around. That's kind of how I see heightened. He may not be quite as conservative in his movements. And I would say on your end, it would be the same, where maybe you'd be a little bit looser in your movements too, you know, instead of like, I guess I'll just sort of show you, like, instead of you just sort of like leaning kind of like this, maybe she would be really, you know, like that.
Yeah.
Or like everything is just, it's a stretched out image of that person that you just gave me. And it's the same thing with you, Paul, that he's like, I think we talked a little bit about, like he's trying to live up to like an old Western movie. You know, like when he's looking out on the land, you know, you could almost see him in a commercial, you know, selling Old Spice.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying to live up to TV land. And that's the same with you. And so you have to go further with the risks that you're taking. And everything, here's what I would say is that you guys are totally on the right path with the way you're playing it. It's just everything needs to be amped up.
Okay.
Everything needs to be stretched, heightened. Everything, the emotion still needs to be more than you have. The fight with which you try to get your objective has to be more intense. The way you carry yourselves, the way you talk, everything needs to be more. It's hard. But like, it's the difference between pulling the knife out and just kind of doing this compared to,
Yeah.
everything is just more of a fantasy. It's more entertaining for them to sort of, remember they are trying to live up to their own ideas of what they think it should be. Even the way you say "fuck you," you know, it's got to be way more abusive.
Okay.
You've got to be like, I don't know if this is appropriate, but totally like street trash.
Okay.
The way you say it. You know how, I mean, just blunt and crass and like a homeless person who's on crack, you know, who's screaming. And then we see you turn on a dime, oh baby, you know, just instantly.